Huddersfield Town will be in League One next season. Gary, that was so cruel. It was that late goal, I think 96 minutes, that means that you can't now catch Birmingham at fourth bottom.
Yeah, it's happened to us a bit, hasn't it, over the season? But no, it's we hold our hands up when you're down there and you've been relegated. Obviously, you feel a bit disappointed, but at the same time, we knew we was in a division that we had to enjoy, and as we said before, celebrate the achievement every game, and I felt we did that. I think our supporters have enjoyed the championship. We're definitely above our status at the moment, and so maybe going back to League One will mean that the club can regroup and look forward to challenging to come back to the championship stronger. The club's got to become bigger. The infrastructure's got to be bigger. The stadium's got to be bigger. We got to have a bigger budget, and if we're going to be anywhere near keeping a place in the championship, our crowds are what, 5,000 home gate sort of average, not home gate but home support, and obviously when we had the 2,000 odd away supporters in the ground, that made it a bit more healthy. And so, if you're in the championship, you're not going to survive on that. So they've been great. The ones that have turned up have enjoyed it. I think they've enjoyed the effort that the club's put in, and we've had to put in a lot of effort to get our 37 plus points. We've got still two games to go. So although we're down, we're looking at it philosophically, and when we come up, if we come back up, we've got to be ready to be a bigger club, and we've got to make things bigger. Otherwise, we'll end up just where you should be, and some that was going to be for the size of our club, second division stroke first. You know what I mean? So we are above our status at the moment, but that's what you got to keep doing. But we can't keep pulling rabbits out of that. So we got to do it business-like and professionally to make sure we get the players that have got the quality to win you more football matches at the highest level.
Even today's game sort of encapsulated your season, really, because you had two great chances in the first half. You knew a win today would have kept things alive for you.
Yeah, we did, and of course we went for the win even at the end. And then, if you haven't quite got the quality out there, you can have 7 players up front, and it just leaves you short at the back, because you're not creating as many chances as the better players can. But they then leave 3 players up front, very quick. One they paid $1 million or so for, and 1v1 they're good players, and if you leave them like that, then they can hurt you, and that's exactly what happened. But we were going for it, and we had a few little corners and set plays, but when it came down to it, that last bit of quality, whether it be the cross or the shot or the header, whatever it was, just wasn't quite there again today.
So 2 games left. What do you use the final 2 games for now this season?
Well, I suppose we use it you owe it to the other teams that are competing against the teams we're playing to keep giving your best and keep making sure your club tries to pick up some more points, because whatever it is, it'll be a record for our club of points in the championship, and it'll be a good something to look back on. It'd be nice to get into that 40 point sort of thing and have a nice round figure at least. So that's really what we've got to do. But you owe it to the league and all the other teams to still give it a right go.
And will you be starting to formulate your plans for next season? You now know it will be in League One, so you've got a clearer idea as to the players you can retain and the ones that you might be looking to move out, and the other ones you can get in from other clubs. Yeah,
there's got to be a lot of discussion though first. We got to know what we can bring in, who's staying, who's going. Everybody's got to look at their plight and their situation, and whether that needs to carry on or wants to be carried on. And there's a lot of things that have got to happen. It's going to be an important summer for the football club, and everybody's got to make decisions, and only until everyone's made them decisions do you then sit down and work out what the future holds.
So obviously the first relegation you've suffered at Yeovil Town, but you, Terry and Darren, you've enjoyed so much success here over the years, ready to kick on and launch another chapter? Yeah, well, they're probably the 2 I feel sorry for most, because
although they understand, of course, they're very professional, the pair of them. But we had a great time getting to the Championship, and we had a fantastic time in the Wembley playoffs and the Wembley final, obviously, and the playoffs here against Sheffield United. And they've been fantastic in their work rate and their relentlessness, and we're a good team. And the three of us, even though we've been relegated, we know what we've had to do this year to keep us competitive, and I feel that most of the time we have been. So for them it's going to be disappointing, because that's the first time they've sort of touched the Championship, and they definitely handled it very well.
We appreciate your time here today, Gary, and thanks very much, and hopefully next season we'll be talking about more success. Thanks.
All right, no problem. Thanks, Chris.
Just a very quick one that seems fairly inconsequential after what's happened today, but I see on social media that the keeper wants is out for the rest of the season as well. That must be a disappointing end to what's been a decent year.
Well, that's a typical situation where we haven't had a big enough squad all season anyway, and when somebody's out, you have to move people around as opposed to bring in someone who could do the job as good. You know what I mean? But we've had to bring on players as well. We've had to bring players in that have needed to improve, and we've tried to help them become Championship players. I think there were 6 players out there that played in the Wembley final. You know what I mean? And we've managed to keep them, in a Championship side, if you like. Now, I'm sure a lot of them players we're going to lose one way or another. It's proved that particular squad wasn't big enough or good enough, and so the club has to have a look at that, regroup, and see where we go from here.
You say as well about you have to have discussions about the current plight and with players as well. Do you expect to have discussions perhaps with those above you as well to check that their ambitions are still
I think so. I think there's going to be a lot of talking to be done, and they've been very supportive on the football side, saying that they're very proud of their team and their management team and their supporters, etc., etc. But if you're talking Championship and you're talking competing Championship, then whatever happens, the club's got to be bigger. It's got to have a bigger fan base. It's got to have a bigger budget. It's got to have a bigger squad that comes with the budget. It's got to have a bigger feeling for success. We can't, as we just said, you can't keep pulling rabbits out of a hat. And in 10 years, it's been a fantastic rise. But now we're back in Division 1, and the club's got to be seen, in my opinion, to be competing in Division 1. You don't want to go back there and struggle, because you don't mind being a yo-yo-y club sort of thing. Come back again. We've had terrific support from everybody. And the club's been a proper football club over the last season. But it needs to learn from the season and better itself.